Good afternoon, welcome. Today I'm going to review the new features QuickBooks Online has added to its reporting. They've put quite a bit of effort into redesigning their financial reports. So I'm in QuickBooks right now, and I've logged in, and I'm going to go to the reporting section, click on the reporting section. If you just take a look down here, this little arrow is new, and if you click on that, it actually provides you more screen real estate. So I'd highly suggest utilizing that new feature. It just allows you to see more of what you're doing, and accountants often need that. So one of the new reports that they've put in, but they're extended to all the existing reports if you decide you want to use the new feature, is you click on quarterly report summary. And as you can see, just from the immediate look, that the interface has changed a bit. For me, it's cosmetically easier to see the new interface. I like the lines and I like the new fonting. So it's defaulting to a period of time last month, very similar to what it was like before. But I'm going to analyze how I've done this quarter to date. And that's going to have me look at how my business is doing from January to March of this year. If your fiscal year, that's going to be a different time range because your year end would end on December. I'm then going to show it a quarter by quarter display because they've already selected this default for you. But if you are working in a quarterly report, you can show it by month, you can show it by year. This existed, but a different graphical view of it. I really don't want to see my zeros unless I have something active against it for the current year. So I'm going to just show non-zero figures, and then I'm going to select the period I'd like to compare it to. So I would like to compare it to the prior year. I'd like to see a dollar change, and I'd also like to see a percent change. I can also display, like I could before, a percentage of that column or row, a percentage of the income, or a percentage of the expense of that row. So I'm just going to click on that quickly. Method accounting. You can choose your method of accounting. I'm running mine on accrual. You can run yours on cash basis. Also, it existed before, just in a little bit different spot. You can still collapse your report. So what I have is an income section, and then I have each of my chart of accounts listed. But if I hit the collapse button, it's going to take anything I've made a subtotal of in my chart of account and roll that up for me. So now it's rerun my report as a function of the current month, a function of the quarter to date, how much that's changed, or the percent of the change and the percent of the income, or in fact the percent of the expense. I'm going to simplify this just a little bit it's just a little busy looking for my taste too, and I'm just going to use a dollar change, and that will actually simplify this greatly and get this more on a one screen format. So here's where I am from January, here's where I was last year, and if I was running a larger total, I would, for instance, if I went from 15 to 12, 31, 15, that's going, and I hit the run report, that's going to actually extend me out to each of the quarters that I had from, I'm just hitting my arrow button, you can't actually see that. I can see my comparatives from the prior year. Now, I could have also achieved that by simply requesting last year, year to date, and that actually gives me the same functionality. New, actually it's important to have this, you're able to change your titling. In some instances you just may want to modify or be more specific what your name, so I want to call this business comparative profit and loss. It's business comparative. There it says profit and it says quarterly. Somewhat important, especially for accountants, is also adding a note to the bottom of the report. You may want to say where this report came from or what this report represents. And I would say, so this is an internal draft for internal use only. And you can put more non-disclosure in here, not intended for not intended for other use. I can further sort my report if I had interest in sorting my report. You can sort it high to low, low to high. I tend to like the default because the default indexes the chart of accounts in the manner that I wanted to see the chart. And then I'm gonna almost ready to save it, but I may just want to hit the customize button for one or two other edits. So essentially what's changed is a lot of the interface. The interface is different for ease of use. Favorable to it. The edit notes, I can now edit a header, but there may be one or two things that are still residing under customize, and it may be something where you would want to divide by 0, or in some instances filter out more information. You can get back to your you can definitely get back to the same types of items like your header and your footer, but for some reason you may just want to run this report on one account. Now keep in mind they've also added some new reports that are profit and loss, or by customer, or information by vendor or employee. Those existed, but the idea behind this new designer is to give you more pre-done reports, so you're less use of the customize field. So from here what I want to do is I think I want to save this customization, so I'm not going to have to go back and do it again and again. And it can have the default name that I've given it, or so I could just call it Doris's profit and loss. And I can add this to a group or create a new group, and I could call that new group quarterly reports. So each time I'd like to run it, I don't have to go back and recreate this report, and I can share that with no one or just keep it to myself, because you can have multiple users. So now it's been saved fully. So that's it for this afternoon, and I want to thank everybody for listening.